Additional data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text TIGER to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text TIGER to 321-321. That's TIGER to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Arizonans are facing big challenges these days. Rising costs at the grocery store, the gas pump, and the pharmacy. That's why Mark Kelly is doing whatever it takes in Washington to bring down costs, even when it means standing up to his own party. The son of 2 police officers, Mark grew up in a house where money was tight. He knows what it means for Arizonans when everyday items cost more. Thanks to Mark Kelly's work, Medicare will finally negotiate down prescription drug prices. Less money spent at the pharmacy means more money stays in your pocket. Mark is leading the effort to cut red tape for truckers and ease supply chain issues. And he's pushing for more domestic oil production to bring down gas prices. Because Mark knows that for a lot of people, every little bit counts right now. Senator Mark Kelly, looking out for Arizona, fighting for us.
I'm Mark Kelly, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mark Kelly for Senate.
NASCAR Championship Weekend is back at Phoenix Raceway. Drivers will put it all on the line to claim NASCAR greatness. The Truck Series Championship kicked things off Friday night under the lights. We're going to tear it up tonight. Followed by an action-packed Saturday, where fans will witness an ARCA and Xfinity Series Championship doubleheader. Don't miss out on the action November 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now for NASCAR Championship Weekend at PhoenixRaceway.com or call 866-408-RACE.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CZ Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
Quiet, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender, week 4 of the NFL. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And joining us from a distant land is Ralph from Harmon Solar. He is back to participate in the NFL Fan Pick'em Picks. How you doing, Ralph?
Right. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're better because we're not talking through like a plastic cup right now. But other than that, yeah.
I think we should do that. Randy, how's your colon?
My colon's great, Ralph. It sounds like everything came out clean.
I don't know. Maybe Ralph could get closer to the microphone or something. I don't know.
Wow. Okay. I can try.
Where are you? What are you doing? What are you wearing?
What am I wearing? Nothing.
I wanted you to answer in the order I asked them, but I'll take that. That you're wearing nothing. That's not bad.
Holy crap.
All right. You and I are playing each other in fantasy football this week. That's why we're hanging up on you when Rosalie Michaels gets on the line.
That sucks.
We just can't have you on during that point. But don't worry. I don't ask her. I gotta be honest. I don't really ask her advice, even when we're not playing each other, because I never trust that she's going to give me good information, because there's deep down, I think she wants me to lose. And especially now, because she is 1-2 and I am 2-1 right now. How many games have you won, Ralph?
About as many as the Cardinals. No, less than the Cardinals, actually. None.
That's the how is this happening to you, Ralph? Are you just not paying attention, or are you just bad at things?
No. Like the first 2 weeks, I scored a lot of points, but I played against people that scored more. And then last week, I had a so-so week, and then Randy got lucky at the end and just barely beat me.
Lucky, yes.
Now let me at
Lucky,
least.
yes.
I'm going to give you some credit, though. I'll give you credit right now for you have a similar point total as me but you're right. Everybody is having their best game against you because right now the against is 445, which far exceeds anything anyone else has had to put up with so far this season. And I've had seasons like that, Ralph, where I was like the number one point getter in the league, yet everybody, when it was their week, it was their time to shine. So I'm probably going to shine on you this week. So, you might just sort of brace yourself and get ready for it.
I feel like this was intentional and somehow you guys made this happen. I just have to figure it out.
It's just the luck of the draw. The only thing that first, and I have not yet figured out why every year I play Rosalie first. Every year. I don't know what cosmic weirdness has caused that. It's certainly not me. But that has always been just the fact. But I'll enjoy taking the W this week from you, and I appreciate that you're here for me so early in the season to help me build my point totals up. I do appreciate that.
Well, it's what I do.
So we gotta get a lot of stuff done here because we only have an hour and a half show. In the next hour, Rosalie Michaels will join us, so you can ask all your fantasy football questions. Not you, Ralph. And this hour we're gonna do our picks. So we have precious little time. So let's go ahead and do what we do now. When we have a short show, we start with what we usually end with. It's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1954, Willie Mays, with his back to the plate, made a backwards catch of Vic Wirtz' 450-foot drive to deep center field in Game 1 of the 1954 World Series at the Polo Grounds. This is widely known as the most famous catch in baseball history, as it helped the New York Giants sweep the Cleveland Indians for the World Series. Back to you, Jeffrey.
That catch.
Yeah,
that catch probably would not have been made in any ballpark today.
Why is that?
Well,
because it was so far out.
450 foot of the cavernous Polo Grounds. It wasn't made for baseball. It was just it was used for baseball until they got their own stadiums.
Well, the other thing about that, Willie Mays, you know how much memorabilia it goes for these days. Willie Mays was like, hey, kid, you can have this. Gave the glove used to make the catch to teammate Don Liddell's 6-year-old son, whose name was Craig, and he used that when he played Little League.
How about that?
That's cool. I don't know where that glove is now, but yeah, you know what, though? That's cool. I'm the kind of it's a toy, should be played with. It's a glove, should be used, But, of course, that poor sap was not looking to use it for Little League. Yeah, the world sometimes balances good and bad out. The good is that the Diamondbacks won Game 72 against the Asterix last night, 5-2. Okay, that's fine. But the bad is Aaron Judge did get his 61st home run. Everybody knows that. But this poor bastard who had it in his glove, this guy right here, and then dropped it, that's just basically the way he's going to be for months. He had it in the glove and it slipped out down into the bullpen. And I'm sure we've all seen the anguished look because they say that ball could be worth $2 million. He had $2 million in his glove and it slipped out down into the to the home bullpen. And but here there's even more to it though. It goes down to the Blues bullpen. Matt Bushman, he's like, hey, well, you know what? Let's give this. Let's go ahead and give this over to the guy. Let's go ahead and give this over to Aaron Judge. And he's at Jordan Romano and him are like, yeah, let's make sure he gets this ball. So, unbeknownst to everybody, that's what was happening. So all of a sudden, Matt Bushman's wife, Sarah Walsh, who is an NFL Network reporter, she tweets, "Bad news is I'm here in Florida battling a hurricane. Good news is I can now announce my retirement." Oh my God. Because she's like, my husband has a $2 million ball in his hand right now. Very short time later, she tweets, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, he just handed that back without checking to see if our house was still here in Florida." All right. Next week, I'm announcing our divorce. And so, of course, she's just kidding. But she says, yes, she basically called him and she says, Matt Bushman wasn't forced to give the ball back. but he still handed it over to Zach Britton. And I guess this was what he said to her. The Judge and Maris family, they've been flying all over the country. They deserve to have that ball.
Absolutely.
And she was like, it's $2 million.
He could have gotten the ball back for $2 million.
Yeah, that's we could give back to the for $500,000. Look, what a bargain, right? So anyway, now there you go. He's tied with Roger Maris. And how many games are left? Does anybody know exactly how many games are left?
About between 6 and 10, depending on the teams.
So there's a chance he might break the record, and there's a chance he might not. So I hope he doesn't. Well, because I don't want the Yankees to have nice things.
They're going back to the Bronx, and I think they open up a series, a 3-game series against the Orioles. So there's a real damn good chance that he's going to break the record.
Oh, he'll have 65 home runs this year. But the other part of this which was interesting, and Sarah Walsh should have understood. She says, when I first met my husband more than a decade ago, he asked my favorite movie, and I told him it was 61. He should have kept the ball.
No kidding. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So anywho, so that happened. And the rest of the show is basically just all about the football. So, hey, Ralph, what team are you bandwagoning this week? Are you still, because I have the picks ready, and I didn't know if I was supposed to do the Seattle-Detroit game or the Rams.
Which game?
Which 49ers game?
The sad part is I was going to ask which sport.
Yeah.
So I'm still with my beloved
Rainy City
Seahawks.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'll leave the sheet the way it is. So let me give you guys a little bit of background info before we start doing the picks. Just a few things that you might need to know that might impact things. NFL security is now investigating whether or not somebody filmed the Dolphins practice on Wednesday. My first thought was, are they playing the Patriots? But no, it's not Bill Belichick. Or is it? Maybe he's getting an early look, but they are checking that out. The Bengals don't seem like that kind of team, do they?
Well, I will say this. Tampa Bay has been practicing at the Dolphins practice facility over the last few days because of Hurricane Ian. So
Tampa Bay.
Tampa
Bay.
Yeah.
Thing there. All right. So that's something to keep in mind. The other thing is maybe some bulletin board material that has nothing to do with LaShawn McCoy, but LaShawn McCoy, you hear what he had to say about little Kyler Murray?
No.
Yeah, quote, he's trash. He plays like a high school player. He says he's overrated. And he runs around, runs backwards, does a circle, ballerina circle, then goes left, then goes right, turns all the way around, looks for a wide receiver. That's not how you play quarterback, he says. He ain't Mahomes. He says, let me tell you about Mahomes real quick. Majority of Mahomes' passes are based on timing. Third step, hit, boom, balls out. Fifth step, boom, balls out. Sometimes he goes off script. We can all do that, but not every pass like Kyler Murray. Murray is holding the ball. Let's make a miracle. Every game he's played, watch him play. It's really embarrassing, to be honest. Like, who in the hell is coaching this kid?
I would agree with that.
Who in the hell, indeed?
Especially now that we've unloaded a bunch of money onto him.
Now let's go to the homework part. He says he ain't reading no coverages, meaning like he's not learning the defenses like the Cardinals were trying to get him to do in that contract. He says when a quarterback is running around like that all day, all night, all game, that's because he's not reading any coverages. So, LaShawn McCoy, I don't know when he, as a running back, became an expert on quarterbacks, but so far, I can take no fault with anything he has just said. Except, some of Kyler Murray's results, I wouldn't say are trash.
No, and they won 7 games in a row last year. You cannot accidentally win 7 NFL games in a row. The league is not that nice. It's not that easy. Kyler is not out here just running around in circles. He does that a lot, but it's not his game if you don't play some disciplined football. But I will say the play calling leaves a lot to be desired. And then you have to go off script. Like if you have a play where you have routes developing downfield and you have to wait for that to get open, knowing damn well, and this is a Cliff Kingsbury problem, in my opinion, knowing damn well that the offensive line can't block anything, not a thing, couldn't block a cold. You know that offensive line struggles with that. Maybe trying to wait for routes to develop downfield isn't going to be the look you're giving right now. It can't be.
So tonight, Thursday Night Football, just so you know, Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Waddle are expected to play. So if that figures into how you make your picks here in a few moments, now you have that information. The other thing, Myles Garrett, he's at practice today, I think, or I don't know what kind of shape he's in. They haven't notated any sort of NFL injuries, but, he had some abrasions, some cuts. He was a bit banged up when he super flipped that Porsche a few dozen times. In my mind, it was a few dozen times. It might have been 2 or 3, but in my head.
So did Miles Davis have to get an Uber to practice then?
Myles Garrett, I'm sure you have that much money. You're not Ubering.
What did I say?
You said Miles Davis.
Miles Davis,
who's no longer with us.
Yeah, he was great. I listened to him all night. But
a nice cigar, a nice pour of whiskey, and
put on some kind of blue.
Now that is a good evening.
Let me just show you how different California does things versus, say, the crap state of Ohio. I mean, remember when Tiger Woods just lost consciousness, drove off the road, and then he flipped a few times, and then his leg got jacked up, and they didn't cite him. I don't know why they didn't cite him for failure to control a vehicle, because Ohio has cited Myles Garrett for failure to control a vehicle. Both did the same thing. Did Tiger control his vehicle when he ran off the road, flipped it upside down, and almost lost his leg? Why are these two things being treated different? I get it, different states. But I'm trying to reconcile that. Why is this different?
I don't know.
Because Ohio sucks. That's why.
Well, true. That is a fact. But also, maybe because Tiger Woods had his leg crushed. You've been through enough. Where
Myles Garrett doesn't have the luck. If only he'd had his leg crushed, they wouldn't have cited him.
He'll be all right.
Makes no sense. But I think the reason they did cite him was more to do with the fact that he has 6 other speeding tickets since he's been in the Cleveland area since about 2017. And he does tend to go fast. And they said during this little accident, he was going 65 and a 45, something like that. So
that's probably it then. They're just throwing the book at him because he's got a history.
Maybe.
I'm trying to give them something. Okay.
Tiger Woods has got a charmed life, doesn't he? Anyway, I'm sure him and Alex Smith would like a word with me, but whatever. So let's go ahead and get a couple picks out of the way before we have to go to a break. Let's start with the games that are here on 1580 The Fanatic. Thursday Night Football, like I told you, the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals, they are playing. And you know what? This is a bit of a tough one, Randy. This is a bit of a tough one, where Miami is 3-0. But you're kind of like, okay, when do these wheels come off? And then Cincinnati is 1-2, but that's Joe Burrow. That's the Cincinnati Bengals, the team that went to the Super Bowl. So even though they're 1-2, they're going to get out of their funk here. So I'm not quite sure. What do you got?
Well, I think that Cincinnati's got to rectify a certain situation, and that's their offensive line. Keeping Joe Burrow upright or giving him just even a beat more time to deliver the ball on target on time is going to help this offense be more, what am I trying to say? More consistent. Where Miami has got a defense, and they have got a pretty stout defense. And I have a feeling they're going to be chasing Joe Burrow all night long. They're going to be blitzing him all night long. Give me Miami in this one. Miami goes 4-0, and Cincinnati has got to figure out this offensive line.
All right. So what do you say, Keon? You agree or disagree with Randy?
I agree. I picked the Dolphins every week since the season started because I'm pretty bullish right now on what Tua can do. They've given him the weapons, and he's showing what he can do, that he has the weapons. But also, as Randy said, the offensive line for Cincinnati, not good. And this defense for the Dolphins is actually incredible. And they're going to get after Joe Burrow. They're going to make his life uncomfortable. And whether or not he's able to get the ball into the hands of Jamar Chase is going to be whether or not the Bengals have success tonight. I don't think they're going to get it into his hands enough.
What do you say, Ralph? Bengals or Dolphins?
Yeah, I think in a season where a lot of things aren't making a whole lot of sense, you would think the Bengals tonight, but there's no way. I'm going to stick with the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are real, and I think they go 4-0.
I'm going Bengals tonight because they're
Sure.
wearing white uniforms.
That's the big change.
And
huh?
the white helmets and the white end
That's it.
zones.
That's right. They're going to be in these white pajamas, and how can you say no to that?
The rare albino Bengal Tigers. Okay.
I'm feeling like this is the game. This is the game where the Bengals get right. So I'm going to stick with it. I had chose Miami in the morning. In the afternoon, I did a little more reading, looking at some stuff. I'm thinking Bengals. Maybe I'm wrong. Who cares? All right, next one up for 1580, the Fanatic, is the London game. That's New Orleans Saints playing the home team against the Minnesota Vikings. Now, Ralph, I know that you are currently in Minnesota, which makes you ultimately qualified to get this pick. So who's going to win this game?
So I'm in Oklahoma, not Minnesota.
Okay, well,
Just to
you're
get
no
that
longer,
right.
forget you. Keon, who's going to win this game?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Vikings here. As much as I like the Saints defense, and as much as I like those Saints receivers, Chris Olave and company, I am going to go with the Vikings because I think the Vikings have a very solid defense. Justin Jefferson's going to be able to go out there and do his thing. And I just think production-wise, I trust Kirk Cousins more than I trust Jameis Winston, who looks like Tampa Bay Jameis Winston and not even like last year Jameis Winston.
Yeah. I feel like if they don't get Olave in an Oil of Olay commercial, somebody's screwing something up. But I'm going to go ahead with the Vikings. Randy, who do you have?
Give me the purple people eaters for $500, please.
All right. And Ralph, okay, so you're the least qualified not being in Minnesota. So, but who do you have in this game?
I like Vikings too, and plus, it sounds like Winston might not even play. He's got some back injury, so
yeah.
I'm going to go Vikings.
All right,
and if he doesn't play, that's Andy Dalton. So
that would be a unanimous decision right there. When we come back, we got Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, all our games, and what I think is the absolute game of the week. I think you all know what that one is. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NASCAR Cup Series back in action on Sunday, racing the Yellowwood 500 at the Talladega Super Speedway. It is race number 2 of round 2 of the playoffs. 4 drivers, the betting favorite to win the race: Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, and Denny Hamlin, all at plus 1,200. A number of drivers at plus 1,300, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, and William Byron. Ross Chastain, who won the spring race at Talladega earlier this season, is at plus 1,500. Kyle Busch and Austin Cindric are both at 1,600. Chase Elliott is the favorite to win the championship at plus 350. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% when you use the promo code ACTION75. Experts.winnersandwiners.com. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-813-8757 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-813-8757. That's 800-813-8757. What do you have to lose? Call 800-813-8757. Again, 800-813-8757.
Sunday morning, the Saints take on the Vikings live from London. Both teams have taken the red eye, and both teams playing on an unfamiliar field. Can the Saints get back on track after suffering a loss at the hands of the Panthers? Or will the Vikes plunder a win following their Week 3 come from behind victory over the Lions? Saints, Vikings, 6 a.m. Sunday morning, live from London on your home for primetime NFL games. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, in time for our Harman Solar NFL Fan Pick'em picks. Ralph is with us from the mediocre state of Oklahoma. And, of course, you guys are with us on the text line, 888-368-1580. Fish Tank says, Ralph tried to take a shot at the Cardinals and then realized he was worse than they are. I'm not even a Cardinals fan, and that was delightful. He says, I predict 5 sacks tonight, and Burrow will throw 2 picks. I take the Fins in a low-scoring game. You know what? I don't feel great about my Cincinnati pick, but I kind of feel like I need to stick with it. Average Joe says, a little late to the show today. We talked about Aaron Judge and how amazing. We talked about the fact he got his home run, but that's all. King Kenton says, Hollywood has a long history of sweeping things under the rug. So does history, really. And he also says, suck it, Ralph. Berg says Miles Teller, maybe. Listen, we got to get back to our picks. We have a very short amount of time to do this. So where were we? Oh, that's right. We did the London game. Now it's time for some Sunday night football. This is a good game. I'm not calling this the game of the week. This is a good game. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. By the way, the hurricane did not hit Tampa Bay, so now they're going to go ahead and play the game there in the Tampa Bay. So Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady will meet again for probably the last time. I would imagine this is it, right? This has got to be it, right?
Unless we get some Super Bowl scenario with the two of them, yeah, this is the end of the young gun versus the man who is actively beating Father Time.
So a man who's getting destroyed by Father Time. Ralph, what do you feel is going to happen in this game?
Man, I wish I was there. I think this is a great game. It's funny. I was looking at it on my little app, and it's actually at a pick, which means Tampa Bay is actually losing the 3-point advantage they would typically get as a home team. So people feel Kansas City's a worthy opponent and has a good shot at winning this. I like Kansas City. I don't know. Tampa Bay doesn't feel right to me. They haven't felt right all year. Kansas City, just with Mahomes and all the weapons that they have, I just feel that they're going to start finding their groove. And I like Kansas City in this game. Close game, though.
All right, Randy, will Stella get his groove back? By Stella, I mean Tom Brady. Both of these teams are 2-1. Both of these teams have, just suffered a loss. Who's got the better momentum, at least, to carry them through to a W on this?
Well, I mean, I think right now Kansas City is the better team. Let's face it, Tom Brady's doing what he can, but he suddenly looks his age in the last couple of games. He hasn't been moving the way he used to move. He doesn't have, but it's sort of like the island of misfit toys as his receivers. They're trying to patchwork people in here and trying to make the Gronkowski's not there anymore. And now I know they're getting Mike Evans back, but is that really going to be the piece that pushes them over the top to be a contender? No. I don't think so. I think Kansas City wins this game pretty easily, actually.
Seems like everybody but me is going to pick the same thing. Keon, are you picking the same thing as say Ralph and Randy, or are you going to step outside the box?
No, I'm living pretty comfortably in the box. Look, this game is a pick'em, and that is stunning to me. And I'll give you 4 reasons why. Rashad Perryman, Russell Gage, Julio Jones, Chris Godwin, all questionable. Even if they play, those guys cannot be 100%. And without them being 100%, when I'm looking at what Patrick Mahomes is working with, he's found a way to use his weapons very nicely. And Travis Kelce is still there being featured in that offense. And even when they can't run the football, Patrick Mahomes makes things happen. So no, I'm not going to pick against the Chiefs at this point in the season.
Both teams are bounce back teams. After a loss, they come back pissed off and they make something happen. Problem is, even as you said, Tom Brady still will not have enough of the tools that he needs to get it done. I like the Kansas City Chiefs on this one as well. All right, Monday Night Football is the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. And, so Jimmy G versus, old Matt Stafford. The defense of the Rams versus Jimmy G. I just don't see a W in the future on this one. I'm going to give this one to the Rams, even though that, they're not a perfect team by any means. They're perfect enough to take out the 49ers, right, Keon?
Yeah, they are. I I don't know where this Niners team is at. I don't like where this team is at. I don't like what Jimmy G looked like against that Broncos defense last week, which was a good defense, but is there a slouch defense going on in LA? I don't think so. So with the Rams and what they're going to be bringing with Aaron Donald, I finally saw Jalen Ramsey last week play like the Jalen Ramsey I recognized.
Yeah, no, that was actually a surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he looked lost for a few games going back to even before the Super Bowl. So to see Jalen Ramsey finally look like himself, then yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams against the Niners until I see some signs of life from that offense.
Ralph, your favorite bandwagon team, the Rams, taking on probably one of your other bandwagon teams, the 49ers. I really don't know if you have a difficulty choosing which one of your bandwagon teams might win, but they're playing on Monday night, so you got to pick one.
So big, the fact that I was born and raised in LA, I'm not a bandwagon guy, but
yeah, you probably spend a lot of time in San Francisco that you don't want your wife to know about. There's that.
I can't tell her about that. There's a lot of weird rainbow things going on, but anyway, yeah, I mean. The Niners, I think, improved by, I hate to say this, with the loss of Trey Lance. I think they're a better team. I know Keon hates that, but that's reality.
Wait, do you think last week they looked like a better team without him?
I was going to say, I feel like he's not in the groove yet because he really hasn't been ready to play and ready to start. And it was just his first time out. I think he'll get better. He might get better this week. The Rams look like they're in a Super Bowl kind of meltdown a little bit. They really haven't been. They haven't looked the same. They haven't looked like they're taking it seriously. They kind of just look like they think they can show up and win. I think they'll start getting out of that. I'm going to go with my Rams. I think they win this game. I think it's a really good, close game, though. I'm going to say Rams.
All right. I got Rams. I don't need to go too deep into this. Whatever is going on with the 49ers, they're not going to be able to stand up to the Rams. What do you say, Randy?
Yeah, I think right now the Rams are the between these two teams is the mostly realized team. They are fully functional. Where I think San Francisco's maybe still putting some pieces in place, and George Kittle is not healthy. Jimmy G is in there after being dissed all off season, so he hasn't had all the reps with this team, and I think it's going to be a couple of weeks before they get their sync on. So. Give me the Rams in probably a closer game than I would think, but the Rams win.
Is it my imagination? Or are we all just picking the same damn things?
Yep.
Well, some of these blender games that are on, we just kind of agree on it. But you stepped out there.
I only stepped out on the Bengals. That was it.
That was dumb.
Well, we shall see, right?
Did you take the Buccaneers, Jeffrey?
Being that I have better picks than you, Ralph, I can go ahead and afford it. But no, I did not take the Buccaneers.
Okay, sorry.
All right, so game of the week. Shout it out if you think you know what it is. Just shout it out.
Is it USC? Oh, we're talking.
Shut your face,
New York
Ralph.
Giants, Chicago Bears.
I would go Buffalo, Baltimore.
Yeah, you'd be right. You would be right. Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, both 2-1. Buffalo has the MVP apparent, and Baltimore has
the MVP dark horse. I mean,
possible, and not even a dark horse. He's a challenger,
he
and he's won it before.
He could be front runner, actually. I mean, the way that he's playing right now.
This is going to be a great game. So then you look at it and you think, Randy, which team has the better defense, the Ravens or the Bills? That might be where the answer lies. What do you say?
Got to tell you, I had a hard time choosing this, and it really came down to which team is going to have the most advantage over the other. And I had to give it to Baltimore. It's in Baltimore. It's a home game. Lamar Jackson's got a chip on his shoulder pads because he wants to prove to the Baltimore leadership that he's worth every penny of that $250+ million fully guaranteed contract that he wants. And I'd say give me Baltimore. It's probably going to be a close one. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to watch, though.
All right, Ralph, are you going with the new guy or the slightly older guy? Wait, did they get drafted the same time?
Get in the same draft class.
Seems like Lamar's been around longer. I guess Josh Allen came into his own.
I mean, they both started as rookies, but yeah, Lamar in year 2 had that breakout season where Josh kind of came around a little bit after.
All right, so who do you got, Ralph? Do you got this guy or that guy?
I got this guy.
All right.
I think I think the Bills are pretty pissed off about what happened last week, especially their offensive coordinator. And I feel they're going to rebound it, and I think they win this game. I think it's going to be a pretty good scoring game. They have the over-under at 51. I think it'll be high scoring. I think the Bills win. But Lamar Jackson, I love him. I think he's great. He's going to look great in a Seahawks uniform next year. But I'm going to go with Josh Allen.
Dream on, man. Dream on. He'll look great in the Colts uniform next year.
Yeah, never happened.
So, Keon, who did I already ask you?
You did not.
All right. Okay, now I'm asking you.
Well, it's easy for me because I look at what the Bills like to do defensively. They're a very talented team. So they don't blitz because they don't have to. The problem is if you don't blitz Lamar at least a little bit just to keep him on his toes, scare him from getting outside of the pocket, and he starts to get comfortable running upfield, you're done. You're done for the day. And I really don't know what the Bills are going to do to contain him. I just don't see their defense being that flexible to change to try and stop what could be a very terrifying day for Lamar Jackson. So I'm going to go with Baltimore and Lamar.
All right. Well, I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. I feel like even though that one guy blew the game last week, that Buffalo, again, maybe they shouldn't have been in that sort of a situation either, where it came down to one play from one guy who didn't get his ass out of bounds and gave the offensive coordinator an aneurysm. But I feel like the Buffalo Bills are a more realized team. I mean, Lamar is always great. Don't get me wrong. But the rest of his team, it's not probably not up to the Bills. I'm going to go Bills on this one. By the way, let's take a moment here. I know these are our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks, but why you got to bring up USC? Huh? Why you got to bring up USC, Ralph?
Well, I'd like to talk about the number 6 team in the country. I mean, I think it's important.
Oh, look at us. We're going to crap all over a little school that just lost their coach. Oh, don't we feel tough?
Oh, that's right. Are they playing? Oh, that's right. They're playing the Sun Devils. Or they're not really playing them. They're going to be in the same stadium. But yeah, they are going to be going at it. So, I mean, I think that's going to be an ugly game. And I think, like I said to you 2 weeks ago, SC's back. They won't win a national championship this year, but they will in the next 2 years. That's a great program. You'll see.
It's going to look like those videos you see of the NBA guy playing with 10-year-olds. Just swatting their crap down,
or just not even NBA guys. Like they had Brian Scalabrine just playing average guys and just destroying them because NBA guys are better than the rest of us.
This is all just practice for Arizona State University to try to beat Arizona at the end of the season. That's it. Nothing.
Which they won't do. So
that's all I can hope is that they pull it together for that. That's it. That's all. Get some ringers in there. Get some NFL players in there with fake names. I don't care what it takes.
Oh, they can borrow some of the Cardinals. Not like they're doing anything.
Well, we need upgrades.
Wow. You know what? Jeffrey's been pounding on you all day. I've just been sitting over here being nice, Ralph, and you just pick on me.
I was just concerned about your colon still. So.
I've got something for my colon to do for you.
Hey, Randy, does your colon tingle right now? Do you want it to? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Yeah, let's check the text line real fast. Let's get caught up with those guys before we finish the picks here. Stockton Slap says, "Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you all have a good one. How do I get involved in that weekly winners to win an NFL jersey thing? Or is that only for the cool kids?" Well, it's for all kids, but here's what you got to do. Go to 1580thefanatic.com. The Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em links are still there. Click on that, register. You probably are too late to win the grand prize of $1,580 from Harmon Solar, but I'm sure you could do your best to try to win some of these weekly prizes. You should definitely still do that. So go to 1580thefanatic.com, Stockton Slap, and get hooked up. And you better get those picks going because you only have about an hour and a half. Big George says, "Thank you for reading on this date, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, George. You're very tall." Cabana says, "Yankees have 7 games left. 7 games left.
There you go. Somewhere between 6 and 10. 7. That works.
He could hit a home run in each game.
He could."
Kyle G says, LaShawn McCoy, isn't that the same way that Michael Vick played? And you think he's underrated? Maybe you just don't like Kyler Murray and you should keep your feelings to yourself and keep it out of your analysis.
Yeah, well, that could be.
Yeah, why would LaShawn McCoy have ill feelings for Kyler Murray? Why is he just trying to get remembered?
he's not making the same kind of money that Kyler's making.
Well, yeah,
one
and
good reason.
And he's retired. He's retired from the league, and he's just starting out as a broadcaster. So there's his hot take.
King Kittens text in again. Suck it, Ralph. Also, he says earlier today looked like perhaps the Cardinals game in Carolina would be mostly dry, but now it's possible that all the raindrops in the sky are going to fall on our football team.
Yeah.
So what happens then? They'll just play in the rain, right? It's not like they're in danger or anything.
As long as there's no lightning strikes, they should be able to play the game. Just get your rain cleats out. And I don't think the turf in Carolina is that fake turf. I think it's real grass. So
the safest person on a field during a lightning storm is going to be Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
No, I'm sorry. I take it back. I'm sorry. I should have said Dortch. He's actually shorter than Kyler.
Okay. All right.
Those two dudes are safe.
Yeah.
Everyone else should run for cover.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we got our games now to pick. Plus, of course, the moment you've all been waiting for, the epic Randy Rant pick for his Arizona Cardinals. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Ian Eagle here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. Coming up from Cincinnati, Joe Burrow and the Bengals take on the perfect 3-0 Dolphins. Last week, Tua Tagovailoa and Miami picked up a big win over the Bills, while the Bengals claimed their first victory of the year at the Jets. Join Hall of Famer Tony Baselli and me for all the action on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk. I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just one pill in the morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
One pill, 24 hours, zero heartburn. With Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC.
O'Reilly. When you shop O'Reilly Auto Parts, you'll get the parts you need when you need them. Order online at O'ReillyAuto.com and choose same-day curbside, same-day pickup, or same-day delivery powered by DoorDash. Now available at participating stores near you. Trust the professional parts people to get you the parts you need today. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-813-8757 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-813-8757. That's 800-813-8757. What do you have to lose? Call 800-813-8757. Again, 800-813-8757.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. Suns Camp is underway and we'll keep you updated. We turn our attention to the week of college football. Arizona against Colorado and ASU at USC. NFL Week 4, Cardinals practice, and we look around the NFL. Major League Baseball is wrapping up its regular season, so join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event, Monday through Friday, noon to 2 p.m. here on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
Today, the Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Boogie is on the text line, and he is lying. He says, I'm winning Harmon's NFL Pick'em, and the Lions are winning the Super Bowl because I'm a cool kid. I just checked. You're not even on the first page of people who are possibly ready to win. In fact, right now, if we ended the season, Mac Gruber would actually win the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em contest. He would have the 15. Yeah, McGruber. He'd have the $1,580. But get this, in third place, where you get the $500, Hefty Lefty. So
is McGruber, is that the guy from the TV show that used the piece of bubble gum and a number 2 lead pencil and some baling wire to build an atomic bomb?
I'm sure it's the exact same, the parody version, I guess. So anyways, Boogie, I don't know what you're talking about. Bruno Baller says, if the Cardinals continue to struggle this year, I'd like to see Randy do more of a reality rant and become the angry Cardinals fan instead of the delusional one that says things like, this team stinks. I don't think Cliff Pillsbury could coach themselves out of a paper bag, blah, blah, blah.
Who's saying that? Who's that?
Bruno Baller.
Oh, thank you, Bruno Baller.
He wants to see that rather than...
He just wants to hear reality.
Yeah. Why are you listening to this show?
Yeah.
Berg says, it could also snow in Phoenix. Yeah, I doubt it. He says, fire Big George. We can't fire him. I mean, it doesn't work for us.
Fire Big George.
All right. Let's get back to our picks here before we run out of time. All right. So now we're all going to be experts in our opinions when it comes to our teams. I'm going to let Keon be the expert in his opinion when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys hosting the Washington Commandos. Dallas is 2-1 under the brilliant play of Cooper Rush, and Commandos are 1-2 under the brilliant play of Carson Wentz.
And I feel good about it. I feel good about Washington being able to beat Dallas this week.
Really? With that defense?
Yeah, well, what the defense hasn't been bad. They gave up.
I mean, with the Dallas defense?
The Dallas defense playing pretty good.
Dallas's defense has played who exactly? They looked good.
Now they're playing against you exactly.
Against Daniel Jones. Yeah, and I dare them. If the Dallas Cowboys run out there and go and try and leave Jahan Dotson and Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel one-on-one on the outside, see how that goes. They don't trust the Giants. They showed to the Giants, we don't think you can throw the ball. And the Giants were like, yeah, I guess we can't. That's not going to happen. That simply cannot happen.
We're talking about Carson Wentz.
Yeah, we are. He's put the ball in the end zone. He's put the ball up there in those one-on-one matchups, and he's been accurate.
Right.
So
I want to believe.
I have issues with the football team. I do. Offensive line, not great. Play calling, should probably run the ball more. Secondary, hurting. Defensive line. Montez Sweat needs to get to the quarterback more often, and Chase Young needs to get healthy.
Well,
there are problems. They haven't been Carson.
Sweaty, so.
I mean, that's his thing, though. But it hasn't been Carson. The thing that I expected was, this is going to be all his fault, and it hasn't been yet. But so far this season, he's looked all right, and I don't think that Dallas, whose defense gambles a ton, is going to be able to guard all three of those guys on the outside. And Washington struggled last week against an Eagles defense. It's really damn good. That's not what we're looking at this week.
All right, so Keon's voice goes up 17 octaves as he says it'll be the Washington Commandos that win.
Mhm.
That's what his voice does when he gets really damn defensive. Ralph, what octaves will your voice be at when you make your pick?
Yeah, well, I appreciate him being unbiased about his Commandos.
I picked the Eagles last week. I saw that coming.
Yeah, I think that the Commandos are going to lose this game. I think Dallas is just, like you said, their defense are just a better team. I think Dallas wins this game. It's not going to be a blowout, but I think they win.
Yeah, Dallas isn't a great team, but they're a better team, whether Dak Prescott is under center or not. I'm going to go ahead and go with Dallas as well. Randy.
Well, I mean, I want to believe. I really do. I want to see Washington do well, but we're talking about Carson Wentz, and we're talking about roast beef calling the plays. I mean, this is a toss-up for me. I got to go Dallas because they got a better defense. I mean, it's Carson Wentz. Keon, you're not giving me any help here. It's Carson damn Wentz.
Carson's played well. What do you want me to say? If Carson
played 1 and 2 well.
Well, I'm sorry.
Team has played 1 and 2 well.
Guess what? The team will be there too, Keon, and that's what I'm talking about. The team versus the Dallas Cowboys. Not as good.
All I've heard this week is Cooper Rush. I watched Cooper Rush.
Oh yeah, he's a joke.
Yeah,
garbage. Okay,
Yeah,
and we're bringing our team to stop Cooper Rush.
Yeah,
Rush.
Well, how are you doing against the run?
Dallas,
you see what I'm saying?
Dallas time
doing okay.
Dallas by 2 touchdowns because you're forgetting about Zeke, who's averaging about 4.1, and then you're talking about my guy
Pollard,
Tony Pollard, who's probably 6 yards per carry.
Pollard, I'm worried about because he's a faster back
and
plays on the outside. I'm not worried about
if CeeDee Lamb can quit worried about being the king and just catch the damn football. I mean, Cooper Rush put it right in his damn hands and he dropped it twice.
Guys, I've been saying this for ages. Take the 88 off of that dude's back. He doesn't catch. That's what he's been dropping passes since he's been in the league.
I still got to believe that Dallas defense is going to shut down
with what corners?
Okay.
Micah Parsons is a beast at linebacker.
You don't have to worry about throwing the ball if you're on your ass in the backfield once you've been sacked. Give me Dallas.
All right.
Well, my voice's octaves are going to stay pretty well the same when I talk about my Colts hosting the Tennessee Titans. Spoiler alert: Titans win. I'm sorry. I just can't. I just can't. I mean, we had a moment with the Chiefs. We had a moment, but I don't trust Matt Ryan. I don't trust Frank Reich. We don't have the kind of stars you need. And Tennessee, even though they're 1 and 2, their defense hasn't been horrible. And it's the offense you gotta. You feel sorry for over there on the Titans. But I'm sorry. I can't do it. I'm taking the Titans on this one. You guys go ahead and beat my team up, Ralph. Go ahead. Have at it.
Well, I'm not going to hit a man when he's down too often. I got to tell you, I feel like Indianapolis just hasn't gotten there yet. But I have a feeling this week, for some weird reason, that they're going to find it and put it together a little bit like they did last week, but at home against Tennessee. I don't know. I think Ryan will get his crap together. I think they'll have a good running game. I think they win this game, and maybe they'll start getting their season going the way it needs to be. Because I think they're better than their record. It's been kind of like I said, everything's been weird this year.
Yeah.
So this has been one of the things that's been bugging me all season. As much as I love to hate them because they're your team, I think they're better than they're playing. So I'm going to go for the Colts.
You hear me breathing over here? That's me not holding my breath. Randy.
I was actually getting a little excited, but
me too. I go along with Ralph's thinking. I mean, this is too good of a team. Jonathan Taylor's too good to be held under 100 yards for 3 straight games, and to see this team lose to 2 of the more weaker teams in the NFL, I gotta believe Indianapolis is going to come out of the box. I think they've got some things figured out. I think they've learned from their mistakes. It's week number 4. I look for the Colts to beat a Tennessee team that I don't think is very impressive at all.
All right. Well, our running back has, for the first time in his entire high school, college, NFL career, missed a practice, which means, well, Jonathan Taylor Thomas there might be a little bit beat up. Keon, do you think it will matter, or do you think the Colts will beat the Titans?
I think it's going to matter a little bit just because the Colts and the Titans want to play the same game. One team's got Derrick Henry, the other team's got Jonathan Taylor, and they both want to play power football and punish the other team. And I'm leaning towards the Titans right now because they've been more consistent, even though they've lost some games, especially that Giants game at the end. Like, what the hell was that? But they've been the more consistent football team, so I'm leaning towards the Titans.
All right, we're running out of time, so it's a horrible matchup between the Rainy City Bitch Pigeons and the Detroit Lions. Both teams, if there was a way to say both teams could lose and not tie, I would go with that. But as it is, I'm going to go ahead and take the Detroit Lions to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Randy?
I'm taking the Lions because Ralph was being mean to me for no apparent reason.
That's fair. Keon?
I'm taking the Lions because the Lions can score points. Seahawks can't.
Ralph?
Wow. They have the number one completion percentage quarterback. He can throw 5 yards better than anybody in the league. I don't know what's wrong with
just
you
not
guys.
in the red zone.
Yeah. No, you know what? You know you're having a bad year when your team is underdog to Detroit. I'm taking Detroit.
There you go.
Wow.
Ralph! All right. So now let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals going to North Carolina to see the Panthers. Yeah, I mean, it's not
Just
a
say it,
tough
Jeff.
one. I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Arizona Cardinals. I feel like, you don't need much of a defense to stop Baker
That's good.
Mayfield.
That's good because we don't
And-
have any defense.
Yeah, well, you have enough of a defense, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Arizona Cardinals on this one, Keon.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cardinals too.
Really?
For similar reason. Cardinals, for all their struggles, can score. Haven't seen that out of the Panthers yet this year. They haven't really been able to go vertical like they want to and put the ball in the end zone.
Ralph, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going Panthers. I just think the Cardinals are just horrendous. I think Murray sucks. And
hey, look, it's Sean McCoy.
I just think the Panthers are going to play better, and they typically have a thing of beating the Cardinals last 3 years. So I'm going Panthers.
Well, there goes Ralph with his haterade. Let's see where Randy White goes in choosing the Arizona Cardinals versus the Carolina Panthers.
It's a week of urgency for the Arizona Cardinals as the bird of prey have boarded the big silver bird and are winging their way to North Kakalaki. This is a week of reconstruction. This is a week of getting back on track. The Cardinals are just averaging 3.3 yards per carry all the way through week 3. Meanwhile, the Panthers defense have been staunch, featuring Derek Brown and J.C. Horn. Arizona is 0-6 in its last 6 games against Carolina. They're 5-14 overall, including a 1-2 record in the playoffs. But the Panthers are only 1 of 9 in their last 10 home games. Look for the Cardinals to finally shed off the rust and look like the team of 2021 when they ripped off 7 wins in a row. The Cardinals will come away from North Kakalaki with another win in their pocket in what will forever be known as the Great Panther Hunt of North Carolina.
All right, there you have it. In a surprise move, Randy White takes the Arizona Cardinals. Didn't see that coming.
No,
Didn't see
plot
that
twist
coming.
every single week.
I'm just shocked. We forgot one.
You guys think I'm going to quit, huh?
I hope you don't.
We forgot one real fast. This actually is decent game. Jacksonville versus the Eagles. I think the Eagles will go 4-0 this week, taking on Jacksonville, but Jacksonville's looked pretty good lately. Do we all agree? I say Philadelphia. What do you guys say?
I'm saying Philly. Philly's going to make a lot of people look bad with that defense.
Jacksonville in a
Phil,
surprise. I'm
I
sorry,
like
go ahead.
Philly. I think Philly wins.
Jacksonville in a surprise move. They will overtake the Eagles and give them their first loss.
We'll find out if maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know. All right, so there it is. Those are your Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. Ralph, thanks for being with us. We will see you next week, but I have to hang up the thing on you now so you don't hear any of Rosalie Michaels' advice since I'm playing you in fantasy football.
I don't need it to beat you. It's too easy.
Bye,
As
Ralph.
King of Kitten says, suck it, Ralph. We'll be back. More of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
There's no doubt that Harmon Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Football season is underway, so now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because right now, new customers get no sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just sign up using promo code Randy1580. FanDuel has all your favorite bets, from the money line to the point spreads to player props. You can combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout on a same-game parlay. And with live betting, you get updated odds on games that have already started. Also, on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Sign up today with my promo code Randy1580 for your no sweat first bet. That's promo code Randy1580. Make every moment more this football season with FanDuel, official sports book partner of the NFL. Must be 21 and older, present in Arizona. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
The NASCAR season will come to an end in Phoenix, but the championship weekend will last forever.
The greatest are the ones that seize the moment.
4 championship races in 3 days, all set against the stunning backdrop of the desert mountains. Night racing, a doubleheader, and a Cup Series champion crowned on Sunday. It's a weekend you'll wish would never end. The NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 4th through the 6th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Get what you want and pay over time when you use your Lowe's Advantage Card. Now through October 26, 2022. Ask for 0% APR with 36 fixed monthly payments on a product installation or appliance purchase of $1,000 or more. Shop for the appliances you want in-store or online. Or go to the store nearest you for installation. Now at Lowe's. Offer subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store Lowe's.com for details. U.S. only.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Harmon Solar 1580, the Fanatic, whatever. My brain. I think I just had a stroke. Wow, that thing just crashed in my mouth. That didn't sound good either. We are in the Harmon Solar studio. You guys are on the Fanatic text line. 888-368-1580. And joining us right now for her fantasy football expertise, our fantasy girl, Rosalie Michaels, is with us for week 4 of the NFL. Rosalie, we made sure that Ralph wasn't here because I don't want you to give him any advice because I'm playing him this week. So I just made sure he was nowhere near here because I can't have him winning. I can't lose to the guy who's 0-3 in the league. I can't hear Rosalie for some reason.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. I couldn't hear Rosalie either last week when what do you say, Jeffrey, when you send like a direct email? What do you call that? Oh, Rosalie. Oh, help me, right. Rosalie. I have a quandary on my hands. Tuesday, I get I missed. I hope you played Trevor Lawrence. No, I didn't.
Okay, still cannot hear Rosalie. Yeah, so you got to make sure that 1 and 2 are active on the A mixer line, please.
They are. I changed nothing from when Ralph was here.
Is your phone
Okay.
on mute?
Can you hear her?
No.
Can anyone hear her? Oh, we can't hear you at all, Rosalie. She can hear us, but we can't hear her. All right. As soon as we get that sorted out, just start screaming or something. We'll hear you. 888-368-1580. And I guess Joe Burrow showed up wearing a flowered suit.
Well, that'll be good to bury him in.
Yeah, because
So, yeah.
that ain't good. Now I hear like somebody playing with cables or something. That's happening. Kyle G says, I picked the Lions to be the highest scoring team this week as they demolish the Legion of whom?
Yeah.
I mean, they might be. I mean, if they're able to keep playing the way that they have been playing, they've been putting up over 30 points a game.
Could be. What's nice about the Lions, whether it was Matthew Stafford in the past or whether it's Goff that they have right now, the one thing you can always count on is stats. There's always some competent stats that will come from wide receivers or a quarterback there. It doesn't mean it's going to be a W, but you're going to get some pretty good stats. And I'm kind of surprised that trend has continued past the era of Matthew Stafford.
I did too, but I think I undersold Jared Goff. You know, the guy's got a strong arm. He's been to a Super Bowl too. We talk about him like he's never been there. And he's kind of put it together in Detroit. And he also got to give their offensive coordinator a lot of credit. They've put Jared Goff in a lot of these positions where we know the stuff he's good at, so let's just do that. And they're not asking Jared Goff to do a whole lot of what he can't do.
I could ask Rosalie Michaels some questions right now, but I don't think she or I knows American Sign Language, as they call ASL. So
I think it's really creepy how we can see Rosalie on the Zoom, and there's just a pair of arms that keep floating behind her. And
that's her husband Nick, who's trying to fix stuff.
Pair of arms that. It is near Halloween, so Rosalie, you might seek safety, shelter somewhere, and maybe a bomb shelter. There's a pair of arms.
The winds are so high, arms and limbs are flying through the air.
Are you in Florida, Rosalie, where arms are flying by? Is that what's happening?
Blink once for yes. You know what we should do is abandon video and just get her on a line where we can get. Oh, look, I can hear her now, sort of off in the background.
Well, it's in the background.
Very echoey in the bathroom sort of sound, but at least we can hear you now.
I'm trying for all our different inputs here.
Okay. Hi, Nick.
Oh, is Nick the arms that keep floating behind her? Okay.
Well, who else's arms would be floating behind her?
I don't know. It was scary there for a moment. I just wanted her to make sure she was safe.
Hello. That was
me.
Feedback is what that was. That was a whole lot of feedback.
Thought it was me.
We should go ahead and pull them down on the board there, Keon, until they.
Way ahead of you.
Yeah, thank you. King of Kitten says, "Yeah, Keon, Goff went to the bowl and he played horribly." You are correct.
But there's like 16 games you play in a regular season before you get there, and then there are a bunch of games called the playoffs where you play. You have to get to the Super Bowl to play poorly. He was able to do that. That means something.
So I wanted to ask Rosalie about the butt punt, the butt punt from last week, and what I wanted to know was, when you okay, can she hear me yet? Yeah, I don't know. She can probably hear me. I can't hear her.
I don't know.
I'll save the butt punt because that's just too much fun. I also have an email from Screaming Eagle. See here. Don't feel bad, Randy. You don't need to feel bad because I asked Rosalie this question on the Twitter today for Screaming Eagle. He's a doctor, as you know, and he was at a conference. So I asked her that question, and at least she answered me before the game. You say she answered you after the game, right?
Tuesday, to be exact. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But at least now I noticed 17 minutes ago, she did answer the question. So one way or the other, we'll be able to help out Screaming Eagle.
This could only happen on our show.
Oh, no, it can happen on a lot of shows. It's not the only show, I don't know if anybody has ever heard this show for more than a couple of years. This has actually been a pretty good stretch for us.
Yeah. That's true. We've gone to the studio mic now.
All right. Do we have her now? Hola, ¿cómo está? 1580 El Fanático.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Now that that worked. I told you I could fix it if I talked Spanish.
Oh, you did it. That's all I needed.
All fixed.
I
ready
want
to
one
go.
like these.
Yes. Welcome to the Daily Blender. There is no Spanish
Not
version
sure
of it.
what happened though. Sorry, everyone. All right, let's go.
Okay, thank you for the Star Wars special effects brought to you by Andor, the new TV show on Disney Plus. All right, so let's go ahead and get right to the first order of business. Randy's a little bit cross with you because he asked you a question on the Twitter and you didn't answer him until after the game had happened. What are you doing out there having a life?
That was my bad, Randy. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. I've been so busy, I forgot to set my own lineups.
Oh, damn!
Is that
That's pretty bad.
Is that
That's
the
pretty
excuse
bad.
we're going with?
Yeah, no, it's not what I'm going with. It's just what is. It's sad. But today I did set my lineups before I even got on the radio with you guys. So because on Thursdays I'm busy. I'm doing multiple radio spots from all over the country. I'm also doing my videos for Bet Karma and DFS Karma. So it's a busy Thursday. So I sometimes I have forgotten to set my lineups last week and the first week. So but today I did.
So you're saying the reason I beat you is because you forgot to set your lineup. Is that honestly what we're going to say?
I would never say that. It's, you know what? If I forget, it's my own dang fault. So that's how it goes.
Right.
So there's no do-overs in fantasy football.
So Screaming Eagle sent me an email, and as you know, that he's got a year under his belt playing fantasy football. He's a doctor, he's a surgeon, he's a busy man, just like you are, a busy woman. And he said, I was at a conference today. My return flight to Phoenix lands at 4:45 p.m. While I'm in the air, I can't ask the question. If you could ask her this, I could hear the answer in the minute I land. So, do I start Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow
Yeah.
plays tonight.
And that's and I did tweet back at you, but I'll tell you my answer on air too, in case anybody else has the same question. I really like Joe Burrow for tonight. You know, he's been not quite as fantastic as we would like him to be so far this season, but he is still doing okay, doing all right. But going against Miami, who's giving up the most fantasy points to the QB position, 297 passing yards per game, you know, and Cincinnati still, they're scoring the 10th most points per game on the season. So I really like him for his upside tonight. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. Meanwhile, when you look at Kansas City, it's Patrick Mahomes. You can always, you can always count on him. But Tampa Bay, their defense has been really, really good. They're giving up the 5th least fantasy points to the QB position. So if you're going safe, you go Patrick Mahomes. If you don't mind being a little bit risky and going for that bigger upside, I like Joe Burrow.
You know, Screaming Eagle, the doctor, the surgeon, Risk is his middle name.
That's right.
I mean, that doesn't bode well for his patients, but it's great for fantasy football.
Risk is his middle name.
Jagdog says, hello, Rosalie.
Hello.
He's getting right to business, though. Carter, Pierce, or Matson in flex spot.
What was that? Connor who?
Carter, Pierce,
Oh,
or
Carter.
Madison.
Carter.
Mattison, he says.
Okay. I do like not Pierce so much this week. Madison with no Dalvin Cook going up against a really good matchup, but it's New Orleans. So, and I've never loved Madison. So I'm going to go Carter. The Jets have a really, really sweet matchup against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's given up 142 rushing yards per game, 6th most fantasy points to the running back position. Yeah. He's got a little timeshare there with Breece Hall, but I like it with Zach Wilson coming back. I think they're going to be relying on the run a little bit. So
anytime I hear you say you don't love somebody, I just picture Madison sitting there with a bouquet of flowers, walking up to the station and hearing it going, oh, he just sort of drops the flowers, walks away, gets rained on the rest of the way home like John Cusack. Oh, Fish Tank says you got to play two. Kirk, Zeke, or Judy. So which one of those two would you leave out, I guess, of Kirk, Zeke, and Judy?
No, he's got to play two. So there's only one you're going to leave out. So,
that's what I said.
You got to go Kirk. Just he's been a target monster. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, are they for real or what?
That's
That
the
is
question.
crazy. Plus, he's got a decent matchup. I'm going with him just for the targets alone. Yeah, they did split it up a little bit more last week. They got some of the other guys involved, but
Kirk, are we talking about Kirk Cousins or Christian?
No, he's
Kirk?
talking about Christian Kirk.
Because when you said for a minute there, I was picturing Christian Kirk. I'm sorry, Kirk Cousins. I'm like, what is she talking about?
No. See, that's why you let me do this.
I know. I had a stroke earlier. I don't know if you noticed
it. just the one.
Yeah, well, at least that you know. So,
just the one, huh?
So you get Christian Kirk.
So
what about the other two?
I would go Christian Kirk, and I don't mind Zeke this week, but Washington, it's that division rivalry. I like that a lot. They're giving up 128 rushing yards a game. With the difference in quarterback there, they running the ball a little bit more. Judy, is hit or miss with the games against Las Vegas. I really like it. I think we're going to see Russell Wilson really go to him a lot this week. So I'm going with the two wide receivers here, Kirk and Judy.
All right. Fighting Wampa says, I need to start two of the three. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why don't people just give me two names? James Robinson, Jeff Wilson Jr., or Alvin Kamara.
I'm going J-Rob and Kamara. That's going to be a weird low-scoring game with San Francisco and the Rams. J-Rob's got a great matchup again. We're looking at their 10th in terms of fantasy running back points, and then the Philly gives up the 10th most to the running back position and about 110 rushing yards per game. So give me J-Rob and Kamara.
Fantasy girl Rosalie Michaels answering your fantasy football questions. 888-368-1580. Fecal Mist says Drake London, Brandon Cooks, or Miles Sanders in the flex.
I'm going with London. The Miles Sanders, I don't like their matchup this week against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's only given up 55 rushing yards per game, and some of those are going to go to Jalen Hurts. So I don't like Miles Sanders at all. So give me Drake London. What was the last choice there?
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. So, you're hoping for something good, but it's kind of hit or miss with them too. Yeah. The Chargers are giving up the 6th most fantasy points to the wide receiver position, but I think I'm going to go with the higher scoring game, which I think is going to be Cleveland and Atlanta with Drake London.
All right. Well, we got people waiting on the text line to ask you questions, but we're going to take a moment, for ourselves. We're going to ask our own fantasy football questions. Randy, he's just glad he gets to get your attention before the game right now. So you can make it up to him with some great advice. Randy, go ahead.
All right.
Well,
let's go, Randy.
So Justin Herbert obviously is my stud. This is the guy I've been leaning on all year, but he's got the fractured rib cartilage. Should I put him back in the lineup against Houston this week? Or do you think I should play T-Law against Philadelphia?
Yeah, it's Houston's definitely a better. Houston's been a little bit better than we expected. They're giving up the 12th. They're 12th against in defense, so they're not giving up a lot of touchdowns. But Jacksonville's got a really tough matchup against Philly too. Philly's even worse. So I'm saying stick with Justin Herbert. I think we're going to see him throw to Eckler a little bit more. So I still like the plus matchup against the secondary with Houston. So stick with Herbert.
Thank you very much for your time.
I'm going to take one, even though I still don't trust you, even though we're not playing each other. I think you just want to see me lose and maybe get down in the point total a little bit, but I'll ask. Tom Brady or Jared Goff? Tom Brady doesn't have really all the guys he needs, and Jared Goff is, good for a stat, but I'm having a hard time making a decision between the two.
Yeah, it's weird to even say that I want you to start Jared Goff over Tom Brady. Tom Brady, they're just not scoring a lot of points in Tampa Bay. He will get Mike Evans back this week, but there's still no Chris Godwin, and I think he needs a lot more of those. And I think we're seeing a little bit of what the missing link of Gronkowski not being there is affecting his game. And so I do expect Brady to get back on track eventually, but he's got the tougher matchup this week against he's got the tougher matchup this week with the Kansas
Chiefs.
City Chiefs.
Yeah.
And, they're just not scoring a lot of points. I think I like Detroit a little bit better against Seattle, giving up, way more points per game, 17th in terms of fantasy points to the QB, but 240 passing yards per game. So I think your safer bet here is Goff. And I hate saying that because I love me some Tom Brady.
And the only other thing is Packers defense against the Patriots is a better play than Buccaneers defense against the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, especially with no Mac Jones, right? You've got a new QB coming in there. It's Brian Hoyer. I expect that that's going to be a pretty low scoring game. And Packers D's been good against the air game. So yeah, I would go the Packers D there.
We are low on time, Keon, but do you have a quickie for Rosalie as far as the questions go there?
Yeah, I'll keep it in the theme that the callers or the texters have rather. Three receivers can only play two: Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith, and Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is a little dinged up. Otherwise, I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play. It's not looking like it so far. It's still questionable, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Garrett Wilson is just you always have to play him. He's a target monster. Zach Wilson's going to be back in there. So, is that going to affect him? It might, but you have to play the odds there. And who was your other choice other than Gabe Davis?
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith, yeah. And then Devontae Smith.
Right.
I mean, yeah. So
He's
Wilson
back.
and Smith, I think you feel pretty good about it. I think that Buffalo does have a big passing game. So if I would just take the two sure things for a nice high floor there, Keon, as opposed to the risk of Gabe Davis. I think it's going to be another big Diggs game. So
that sounds like a good book, The Risk of Gabe Davis. That sounds like you might buy that for a short flight. Listen, we got to take a break. We are short on time, so when we come back, we'll go rapid fire. We got them all lined up here on the text line for you, Rosalie. So come on back, kids. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
From Westwood One. Thursday night primetime action coming up when the red-hot 3-0 Miami Dolphins travel to Cincinnati to take on Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Ian Eagle and Hall of Famer Tony Baselli will have the call on air or on the free live stream sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Don't miss any of the action on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Football season is underway, so now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back. If your first bet doesn't win, just sign up with the promo code WIN. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line to point spreads to player props. So sign up today with promo code WIN for your no-sweat first bet. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
Must be present in state where lawful to wager. 21 plus in select states. First online real money wager. Only refund issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Arizona 1-800-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Indiana, Kansas 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com. Louisiana 1-877-770-STOP. New York 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789. Wyoming, West Virginia 1-800-522-4700 or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Fantasy girl Rosalie Michaels answering your fantasy football questions. Let's jump right on into it. In order of appearance, Kyle G says, should I go Metcalf or DuVernay?
Metcalf.
Yeah, Metcalf has an imagined beef right now with Jeff Oduka and saying, oh, Oduka ain't nothing. He's got a bunch of people around him. But hey, Metcalf, you don't really have much of a quarterback throwing to you. So I'm actually a little bit surprised you're taking Metcalf over DuVernay.
Well,
why is that?
They've actually been doing really, really well. It's they're not scoring a lot of points, but that Detroit defense is terrible. They are the worst in the league. They're giving up the most points per game, lots of touchdowns, and they give up the 7th most fantasy points to the wide receiver position and 265 passing yards per game. So yeah. I like Metcalf. He can stretch the field.
Are you worried about Jeff Okudah at all? Because the guys that he individually guards tend to vanish.
They're gonna have to keep up with Cortland Sutton but DuVernay, with Baltimore, they're going against Buffalo. Buffalo is really, really tough defense. They give up 156 passing yards a game. You know how low that is? That's low. It's the worst. It's the best in the league. So we don't want to throw against Buffalo. It's not a good time. So yeah, Tua won last week, but you know how many fantasy points Tua got? 11.2.
Completed 13 passes. Yeah, Buffalo doesn't blitz ever. 7 guys in coverage. Read it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Bizzer
exactly.
7
So I'm still
says,
going Metcalf over DuVernay.
Bizzer 7 says, hi, Rosalie and company. Trevor Lawrence or Matt, I threw 0 touchdowns last week, Stafford.
Stafford's going up against the 49ers, who are tough. They give up the 2nd least most fantasy points to the quarterback position. And I was wrong. It's not Buffalo that's number 1. It is San Francisco that gives up the least passing yards per game, 148. So, yeah, I'm going T-Law here. He's kind of on fire. It's a tough matchup for him against Philly, but I like what he's doing a little bit more than Stafford. Is that weird? That's weird.
It's a little weird.
Swave Dave says Justin Jackson or any other wide receiver on my team.
Oh my God. Is that even a question?
Yeah, he doesn't know your team, Swave Dave. And by the way, can I just
go with
remind
the wide
everybody?
receiver. Just go with the wide receiver. Don't make it difficult.
I am not playing in any other league than the Premier League. If you see my name, I am the commissioner of the league, and the other is fielding my team. So no, you did not whoop my ass, and so stop it. Joe the Show says Zeke, Mike Carter, or Judy in the flex. Says Joe the Show.
I'd go Carter.
Jagdog says oil of Olave or Cooks in the flex. And I added the oil of Olave thing. I'm trying to make that a thing.
You gotta go Olave. Just the target monster that he is. Again, if somebody's getting that many targets, you're putting him in your lineup every week. Just the targets alone, especially if you're PPR. If you're not PPR, we can have a different conversation. But if you're PPR, which most people are at least half PPR, then yeah, you're doing it.
Can you help me get
Olave.
that started? Oil of Olave. I really want that to be a thing.
You can work on that, but
yeah, it sounds like a no. All right, fine.
Yeah.
Good Cat says Hawkinson over Logan Thomas.
Yes.
Dolphins or Saints defense?
I'm going to go with the Saints defense. I expect, like I said earlier, I expect Cincinnati to be able to put up some points, and Miami's defense is not awesome. They're about middling. They keep giving up a lot of points. So I like the Saints better against Minnesota. They've been pretty shut down.
Fecal Mist says, do you trust Dalvin Cook with the injury, or should I just play Kareem Hunt?
Yeah, I think I'd go Kareem Hunt over Dalvin Cook. I don't think Cook is going to play. There's still a lot of question around it. So, I mean, obviously if he starts, then you play him, but otherwise, no.
Big George says, hi, Rosalie. Happy Thursday. Would you start Melvin Gordon III, Rashad Penny, or Tyler Algier in standard scoring league?
Definitely not Tyler. Just Cordell Patterson does look like he's going to play. He did miss practice, but they're saying that he's probably going to play. So, and even still, I just don't trust the rookie there. And then the other two choices, sorry, there were 3 of them there. There was Algier, there
Gordon,
was
Melvin Gordon, Rashad Penny.
Gordon or Penny. Yeah, I like Penny's matchup. It's really, really good against Detroit. They give up the most fantasy points to the running back position, 142 rushing yards per game. It's risky because they haven't been running him. He hasn't been super effective. But I think that this is somewhere where he can get the matchup is good enough where he can get some points. So go Penny.
Bala 51 wants to know if he should go Mixon or Edmonds tonight.
You got to go Mixon. Edmonds is just not getting enough of a push down there in Miami. He's splitting with Mostert. This is a Mixon-led running backfield, although we saw a lot of Samaje last week. But with Miami giving up the 8th most fantasy points to the running back position, go with Mixon.
Swazman wants to know what you think about his trade. He gave up Jay Robinson and Tyler Boyd, got T. Higgins and C. Edmonds. He also wants you to know he's 3-0 for some reason.
Yeah. Hey, well, good. Then you're doing great. So don't listen to me. For Edmonds, I mean, if things turn around, then great. But that Miami team, they're a passing team. They're not a running team. So you did get the better wide receiver out of the two with Higgins. So take that to heart.
So how often do you, Rosalie Michaels, fantasy football expert, actually trade in any given season for any given league?
I'm not a lot. I do. There's a lot of trades I turn down because people just send you ridiculous trades and you're like, no. I did have a couple of trades in a couple of my leagues before the season started this year in some of my keeper leagues that I'm pretty proud of. So we'll see how they turn out. So I did trade away DeAndre Swift, which was a risk, but I got some good wide receivers and I had great running backs. I had Jonathan Taylor and Austin Eckler in that league. So I was okay with trading away DeAndre Swift. And now that he's hurt, I'm feeling pretty good about it. So
real quick, we have a new texter, 9076, says he's a Duval faithful here. Should I start Keenan Allen, Kirk, or Pittman at wide receiver?
Allen, Kirk, or Pittman? Is Keenan Allen back yet? Have we seen that he's good to go?
And is Duval faithful now his texture nickname? That's another question.
Well, he left early from practice today, so that's not a good sign.
I'm not feeling good about Keenan Allen. That's just it. And the matchup's not great against Houston. They aren't giving up a lot of fantasy points to the wide receiver position. I definitely go Pittman there. Kirk is also a great choice just because of the targets.
We only have 10 seconds left.
Okay.
Mike Williams or Robbie Anderson? Mike Williams, Robbie Anderson.
Mike Williams.
There you go. See you guys tomorrow. It's Daily Blender, 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brad Musburger, and you're tuned to